do begin with breaking news. The latest on the earthquake that hit Malibu this morning. It wasn't just Malibu, by the way. People all over Southern California felt this 4.7 quake that rolled through just before 7:30 in the morning.
That's right. Bob DeCastro is in El Segundo, where earthquake scientist Lucy Jones is holding a press conference. Bob.
Good morning. Yes, this was already a scheduled press conference. This, ironically, is National Preparedness, Emergency Preparedness Day, and the city of El Segundo was already holding an event, and Lucy Jones was the keynote speaker. She has yet to arrive here, but they're getting everybody around, gathered here. They've got CERT teams here, so they're the civilian teams that have been trained in emergency preparedness. They've got fire officials here, and everyone that's involved when it comes to emergency preparedness. I'm going to bring in Chief Avery, who is the fire chief of the El Segundo Fire Department, to tell us a little bit more about what happened here. Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so ironic that this happened here, and you were telling me that you were here at the station when the earthquake happened at 7:30 this morning.
Yes, this morning we had a staff meeting with my battalion chiefs. We're in the office talking about tactics and some operational things, and it started shaking. I was the first one to feel it, and we all did duck, cover, and hold.
Yeah.
And it was, just like you said, ironic that Dr. Lucy Jones is here on National Preparedness Day when we experienced this 4.7 earthquake near Malibu.
It's interesting to me that you all do practice what you preach, and you really did the duck cover and hold on. And I don't know, people at our station didn't necessarily do that, but you did that here.
We have to. You know, we set the example, but you take a look at the potential that it could have. We didn't know what the magnitude was going to be because it just started to increase.
So tell us what's happening here today, because we've got business owners here, you've got civilians here. So you basically have this emergency action plan that's in place within the city of El Segundo, and you want to make sure that it's properly executed should something really serious happen.
Right. This is an incredible opportunity for us as El Segundo Fire Department and the city of El Segundo to share with our residents and our business owners and our schools what our emergency plan is and how incredibly important for them to be involved and how engaged they have to be for this to be successful.
And what are you hoping to hear from Lucy Jones? I know she's going to be one of the big speakers here today, and you brought her in specifically to talk to them about emergency preparedness because, of course, she knows so much about earthquakes and what would happen should a big earthquake strike.
Well, as we felt this morning, earthquakes are such a primary concern for every community, and it affects every community around in California and beyond. So having the opportunity to have Dr. Lucy Jones here to speak at her level, her experience of not only what the potential is of aftershocks and impacts, but what we can do as a community to be better prepared.
And very quickly, as a fire department here, what were some of the immediate steps that the fire department would take should there be a major incident?
So just like this morning was a prime example of what we do as if there's an earthquake. Everybody felt it. We did duck, cover, and hold. Instantly after that, we made sure everybody was safe, and we had our fire engines and police officers patrol the entire community to assess for damage. We communicated with our residents, see if they're okay, and then we reported back, and thankfully there was no damage today.
So now, I mean, ironic, as I said, it's not theoretical. This is going to happen, will happen. It's good to have events like this to make sure everybody is kind of on the same page, right? And that we're ready as best as possible for something should that happen. Chief, pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for your time today. So yes, this is getting underway shortly, and of course we'll have more comments from Dr. Jones also as well as soon as she steps up here to the podium. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be checking in with you, Bob. And as we said, yes, the shaking felt all across Southern California.
Let's go to Koco McAboy, who is live in Malibu with residents there, what they're saying about the big jolt this morning. Koco.
Good morning. We're at Scott's Malibu Market, which is within a busy plaza in Malibu. And we've had the chance to speak with a lot of community members who felt the 4.7 magnitude earthquake this morning. A lot of them saying this was the biggest earthquake they've ever felt in their lives so far. We do want to start by showing you some video from Thousand Oaks. This is from a viewer, Karina Salazar. She sent us this video. As you can see, she woke up screaming. Take a listen. And we We also, you see, obviously that was extremely scary for Karina Salazar, but we also have some video from Skyfox to show you this morning as a cleanup was underway following this earthquake. This cleanup was happening on Las Virgenes Road here, and you can see that crews are out there trying to gather some of the rocks that ended up in the roadway following that earthquake. But of course, the earthquake also led to some evacuations. We want to show you some video from Daniel Webster Middle School in West Los Angeles. The students had to evacuate there following this earthquake. And again, as I've said, we've been speaking with residents here in Malibu. Of course, this was the center of the earthquake, so people definitely felt it here, but it was widespread. We're hearing that some people felt it in even Ontario and parts of Orange County as well. But I want to have you listen to this resident that we spoke to this morning who talks about what she experienced while she was home with her dog.
It was just this really big shake, and Max jumped up and barked and just ran to me, and we got on the ground and we just hugged each other, and then it passed. But I've been in LA for 25 years, and I think that was the biggest shake that I've ever experienced.
And we've heard that from a lot of people saying it was the biggest shake that they've ever experienced. But again, we are here at Scott's Malibu Market. I actually am here with the owner right now, who was here setting up with his staff when this was all happening. Scott, if you can talk about what you heard, felt, saw this morning.
Yeah, we were just getting set up this morning, and we were like a half hour from opening. We opened at 8 a.m. and all of a sudden this violent rattle just came upon us, and we were kind of holding on for dear life for about 10 seconds there, and we heard some rattling in our showcases, and our products were moving on the shelves, but it subsided, and we just checked on each other and continued to proceed and get open at 8.
Right. And Scott, obviously, like we were talking about, you felt other earthquakes. How does this one compare to those other ones?
Yeah, much stronger than recent memory. It was pretty violent for like that good while there. Yeah.
And did you get an alert on your phone about this earthquake?
Yes, we were notified, which is something that I haven't seen in previous earthquakes. But yeah, to see that was a little shocking too.
Thank you so much, Scott. We're glad you and your staff are okay. Scott's Malibu Market just opened recently here in Malibu about 2.5 weeks ago, but they are very busy as well. And like I said, we were speaking with a couple of people who say they felt the earthquake this morning, that it felt like a violent jolt, like Scott was just telling us. So obviously right now we have not heard any reports of injuries or a lot of damage, and that is the good news here this morning. I'll send it back to you.
Yep, absolutely good news, and that's the best way to describe it. A violent jolt, right?
That's
Jolted
right.
you awake, I would say. Koco, thanks so much.